And there we go. I'm playing against a subscriber. This is the second game of playing with subscriber. This time is a bit longer, is a 1600, and hopefully I'm going to help you getting better. So he's playing the Karakan. Fair enough, fair enough. We're right, we are playing theory, no problem. Now the move is e6. If you play h6, there is a really interesting line. And he's thinking, so I don't know. This is rated. I'm stupid. If I lose 15 points. Stupid. We're right. So I'm not going to lose. That's the solution. Now still theory. If we play c5, we are in the bishop e3 line, which is great. If he does not, he's probably going to play knight on e7 or knight on d7, then I castle, I put the knight on d2, probably knight on b3, and we see. h6. h6, okay, I guess I'm just going to castle, no problem. Yeah, h6 is also a move. Maybe it's a bit slow. You're not contesting on the c5 square, you're not developing, but it's a move. Yeah, now bishop e3 has to be played, I guess. Even after h6 is not that h6 change anything. I think it changed actually nothing. So I can still play this line. The only difference is that now I castled. So it's actually much better, probably. Now this pawn is hanging and you need to do something about that. But I'm thinking if the knight c3 line still works. If you play queen on b6 and I play knight on c3, yeah, you take the pawn, queen on b1, you take the knight, attack the queen, there is still this. Because there is still this. What is the difference? I don't know if I can still play that line. Not sure. Let's see. Queen takes. Queen there. What if he takes this pawn? I'm going to take. He has to take the knight though. Because the knight defend the bishop. Yeah, I'm still going to play this line and hopefully he's not losing. I don't think he's losing. Take, queen b1. Take, bishop take. Yeah. I mean, in theory, it should be better. It should be a better version. Because I castled. I don't see how it could be worse in this case. So you take the pawn again, queen b1. If you take the knight, I'm sure this is good. Bishop d2 b4. So what I'm threatening now, if he does not take this pawn, I'm threatening knight on a4, which now is stronger because I castled. So you need to do something about that. If you don't want to take the pawn on b2, you have to take this pawn. So basically what you have to do, you see your opponent that, and you understand that if you take the b2 pawn, you're going into his plan. So you are basically doing what he wants you to do. Which is not good, I mean, you are in your opponent theory, so he has an advantage. What you should do is try to avoid this trap. You see what your opponent is threatening, and you try to find the best way to release this pressure, and the best way is actually trading. If you want to release the pressure, you have to play pieces. So in this case we trade. After that, I wouldn't still take the pawn, I wouldn't take this pawn at all, and you play like this pawn is not hanging. This could be a plan. Now you're going to be worst, but because you play this move which is low. So playing this setup is okay, but with h6, you give me castle, so it's not that good. This move is not good though for the reason. It's true, there is not that pressure that I was talking before, but now there is another pressure. Still knight on a4 is good, also b3 is good now. You are giving me a target now. That's why I'm saying it's not that good. So if I attack the queen though, and I try to put the knight on c5, he's going to take it. So b3 is pretty logical, I would say. b3, threatening this pawn, take, win the pawn, so you have to do something about that. If you take, I'm going to take with the A pawn, the rook opens up. So what? Well, after that, knight on A4, and I can play C4. I'm trying to destroy your position. Your king is wide open. You are not the one who castled yet. Also in the future I could have some bishop check. I feel like now is not necessary. So I take with this pawn. Don't see the problem. Threatening knight on A4, and then to push or to check him. Lot of good moves. He can't suck. I don't see why he should. If you play something like bishop on B4, the difference now is that I castled, so I don't even care. My position is already great. All of this because you played pretty much passively. So that's the big problem about what is going on now, honestly. Knight on A4 attacking the queen. You have to do something about that. If you put the queen on B4, I don't like it. I can attack the queen again with bishop on D2. You were right. So this way at least you're not going to lose 300 times. But I'm still going to take this pawn to play C4. Instead of that, I could prepare C4, but I feel like C4 is quite strong now, honestly. Don't see why I should wait. The king is still wide open, so C4. I'm playing like a mad, but I feel like is what I should do right now. The way to win is to understand what are your opponent's weaknesses, in this case the king in the middle, and try to punish him. If you don't punish your opponent and you still try to play what you know, it's either that you're going to win because you're not punishing him. If you want to gain an advantage, you have to punish him. If you understand that something is a mistake, you have to do something about that. You can't keep playing normal stuff. I still went for the knight c3 line, but because I thought it was really good, the knight c3 in fact threatens knight on a4, and if you don't take the pawn, you're in trouble. If you take the pawn, you're in trouble, so... It's a great line, and by the way, I made a video about it. You should see the link of the video somewhere, and if you don't see it, it's in the description. It's a full line about the... it's a full video about the bishop e3 line. I cover pretty much all the variation that I consider the best. So there are basically variation for every situation. Now, I can take with the bishop, I can take with the knight. I'm not, I can take with the pawn. I'm not going to take with the bishop, obviously. I have this pawn mess. I have this pawn that's so strong. What if he castle long? Push. Push, disc die everything. I feel like that pushing and disc die everything is fine. Also, yeah, I had to see. If he castle long, I feel like he's completely lost. Queen b3, maybe. Yeah, but also d5 should be good. Take. This pawn is hanging though. So no, d5 is not good if he castle. If he castle, I don't have problems, though this pawn is defended 3 times. It's not that is not the problem, of course. He has a lot of problems, that's for sure. But if he don't castle, I mean, I will castle in this situation. Don't feel like it's a great move, but I will castle. Because if you don't castle, you know I'm going to push. You know you're going to lose pretty much. So between the two things, yeah, this is also playable, but you still have the king in the center. If we're doing anything else, I could move the queen somewhere else. Because it's pinned, I don't love it. I might threaten something in the future. I might leave out the knight. This pawn are weak, this pawn are targets. You really need to develop now and to play faster. Also, playing fast in rapid, but playing fast a good move is not easy. Like, people think I play slow because sometimes I make video and they like, oh, I have 20 seconds, which for the rapid player is not that much, I will say. If you always play bullet, I get it. But it's not easy at all to play fast and good moves. For example, if you are a blitz player and you play to play rapid, yeah, you're going to play fast move, but they suck. You're going to get destroyed. So that's to say that I'm actually playing quite fast. Now, if I play against someone rated as me, you don't notice that because, I mean, we pretty much play at the same at the same speed. Yeah. So, alright, is developing. This move has a problem though. Now I can actually put the knight on c5. Always keep looking for these moves because they could be really good. Now, instead of doing that, who cares about a pawn, right? I don't care about this pawn. Yeah. I have something better. Now that I moved the queen and I done everything. What if I put the rook on c1? So when I take... He's going to take with the knight though. But, there is a but. Rook on c1, preparing that if he moves the knight at this point, d5 is playable, take. If he take with the rook, he loses the rook and the knight is hanging. So rook on c1 prevents the knight from moving. And if I prevent the knight from moving, how is he going to castle? He's not. That's a problem. The most important thing, if you have an advantage, whatever advantage you have, is to understand that there are things that are more important than others. I don't want to win a pawn, I want to win the game. And I want to win the game pretty fast. If I could choose, you know? Now, he gave me a target playing this move. d5 does not work. What if I play c5? If he push, take with the bishop. If he does nothing, I take, this knight is in trouble. Also I have bishop b5. And he has a lot of problems because he still hasn't castled yet. Now he can move the knight, it's true. I gave him an outpost, but in exchange I have the man who's pressured, so yeah, I can give him this outpost. I don't care at all, literally. So yeah, queen on b3 was a good move because he does not have any discovery, any tactics against the queen. And my opponent is playing good. The fact is that at a certain level, if you do a mistake like that, he could be punished through all the games. That's how it works, honestly. It's unfair, but I mean, it's life, you know. What if I play this move? So if I play this move, he has something with the knight, I guess. He moved the knight and my rook is hanging. But I'm still thinking that could be a good move. I could sack the rook to put the man with pressure on the queen. Which is the thing I'm going to do. So I put the knight on e5. This is worse though for him, because now I play queen on c3, double pressure on the knight. If he moves the knight this time, he has some problems, I guess. Take with check, threatening the knight. I could take this, I have a lot of pressure, so this is a line. I mean, now it's completely lost, obviously. This is another great move that I'm going to play. Just to do that. Now my opponent lost on time, but this is hopeless. Now if he plays knight on e5, I'm going to take the knight and I'm up a piece. It's check, I win the queen, I win everything. It's +3. I thought it was worst. But yeah, good game by my opponent. I hope you learned something from this video and see you soon.